Hey everyone, welcome back to build 1.0.0.8. In this video, we're going to be going over the Green Sorcerer, a sorcerer in almost all greens. So when I built this character, I did him for the leveling playthrough, and he ran that Stunjax Aether build that I showed off in the previous Albrecht's Aether video that I basically turned my main Aether guy into. This guy couldn't actually run that at high level. Instead, I chose to focus on Albrecht's Aether. All of his abilities support that. And he's going classic. He went classic in that he uses Canister Bomb as a main ability. Now, if you remember back in the early access days, it was a pretty common thing to do where you'd max out Arcanist like this. But this is back when the level cap was like 40 or 50. And then you'd take Demolitionist down to Concussive Bomb and only take Canister Bomb and Concussive Bomb. Because the Canister Bomb, like, stunned the entire screen. And that helped you pick off things with Albrecht's Aether. And it was pretty awesome. And it's still awesome. So, I don't think I need to go over, in depth, the point spread here. You've seen my other Albrecht's videos, or I hope you've seen my other Albrecht's Aether videos, so you know what I'm going for here. The main differences are we're not maxing out a Scoundrel's Elemental Exchange because we have a Caster Chest piece and don't need the extra energy regen from that. We don't have Mirror of Arachtes maxed out because we just don't need it maxed out as much. Well, that's not true. It's helpful to have it quick, but we just don't have the extra points to get it maxed out. Albrecht's Aether is maxed out. Bringing things to cap are Reckless Power, almost Mental Alacrity, Alexa's Flash Freeze, Myvan Sphere. We obviously overcap Inner Focus. Pretty much everything else are 1-pointers. And then Disintegration we want at its cap too. And then on the demo side, we're 1-pointing Flame Touch and Temper. 12 out of 12ing Canister Bomb. 3 out of 3ing Concussive Bomb. 10 points on Thermite Mine. Maxing out Vindictive Flame. And 1 point on Ulzin's Wrath. Now I mentioned in the previous Albrecht's Aether video that it's actually really hard to run a very, dynamic build when you don't have a lot of plus to all skills. I think the game is really designed around you equipping lots and lots of legendaries, especially at high level, though you can play the game in all greens, this guy is. Though, I think after I make this build video, I'm probably going to pull in 1 or 2 legendaries onto him, or epics even, just to ease his gameplay a little bit. So you kind of have to focus on a single ability when you're in all greens, and then, put a lot of support abilities in. Oh, the one big difference too. I have 10 out of 10 on conversion because he got stun locked a lot fighting a lot of bosses. Specifically the Warden to try to get a good Warden's Verdict. And the Ethereal Amalgamation actually has a stun attack. So I wanted to reduce his stun by as much as I could. So we are running conversion actually at 10 out of 10 to get as much crowd control reduction as we can. So I'm going to go to Devotion first, because it's almost the same exact Devotion spread I had with my other Albrecht's Aether guy. The only difference is we're not using Spear of the Heavens. We are instead putting 3 points on Scholar's Light, and putting 3 points into the Behemoth to get this heal. This guy, too, is running the Skeletons. And the big difference... Oh, no, he has Electric Flash Freeze like this. So he was running Canister Bomb as his time dilation spammer. Whoops. And instead I switched that to Electors like the other guy. And we have Canister Bomb running the Arcane Mines. Optimally, if we weren't using the Skeletons, I'd want Albrecht's Aether to have the Arcane Mines. Or Arcane Bombs. And then Canister Bomb to run time dilation. But because the Skeletons are worked into the build now, that's got to be on the Aether, especially for this guy where his main killing ability is Albrecht's Aether. So items. Now when you're building all greens, you aren't going to get exactly this. My advice when you're building greens is to shoot for items that fill in gaps in the build. Now for this particular guy, and I'll say this, for other builds, for not Aether builds, you're going to run completely different monster infrequents. For this guy, you definitely want to pick up a Pulsing Shard. Mine is a Soldier's Pulsing Shard of the Sands, and this gives a lot of Aether damage and Elemental damage, and a lot of health and physique, which is really, really helpful for survivability. Sands of Nox is a pretty okay ability. And the Pulsing Shard, for those that don't know, actually gives +2 to Albrecht's Aether Ray. And we're going to run up here to my stash, because I want to show just how many of these damn things I've picked up. These are all the Pulsing Shards that are in the reject pile that this guy's collected. These are all of the Voldaren's shoulder pads he's collected that are in the reject pile. And this is the other one. Voldaren's Shoulder Guard, the one that gives +3 to Albrecht's Aether Ray, is another must-have for this guy. And I have Ordered of Scorched Ends. The Scorched Ends is a fire suffix, and Ordered gives an absurd amount of Chaos Res. And that's really what we want out of a not DPS-y piece of gear. And you kind of end up declaring certain pieces of gear DPS or not. And I want to turn all my stuff on, too. So, yeah, shoulder pads, generally speaking, I lean towards making them defensive. And Ordered is a great prefix. It's just flat out, just 52% Chaos Res. It's perfect for this guy, because Chaos Res was one of the things he was having trouble getting. So, yeah, the other kind of monster infrequent you want to shoot for is a Warden's Verdict, or Judgment. It has % Aether damage on it, and +2 to Arcane Will is a pretty nice little bonus. But if you get one that's an Aether of Aether, prefix-suffix combo, you can actually get a lot of Aether damage on it. And this guy's got Aether Fire of Insanity, which is a ton of Aether damage, on top of having a lot of nice bonuses in addition to that. Now, other gear, like, you really end up just filling it in with whatever. So I'll go over what he has and explain some of the things. And I'll point out some suffixes I kind of want to get on other pieces of gear. So his helmet is a Resistant of Nature's Bounty caster helmet. And you want a caster helmet for the energy regen. And I went with Resistant. Well, of Nature's Bounty is a great suffix. It's health and health regen, both flat and %. So you get a lot of health regen if you have multiple pieces of Nature's Bounty gear. Now, Resistant gives you just some resistances. In this case, it's the Fire Poison. And I'm running this because I need the poison res, honestly. But it's also a really good just helmet. Craft up a caster's helmet. For the jewelry, we have an Arcanist of the Grove. This is a stupid amount of health regen. Like, his health regen is over his energy regen from his gearing. And Vindictive Flame being maxed out. And it's part of our defensive setup. So the Arcanist gives us our +1 to Electric Slash Freeze. Of the Grove gives us the heal and a whole lot of health regen. His rings, a Harmonious of the Gildan Arcanum. I believe the Obsidian Band is the energy regen on this. And yeah, the different types of rings do different little effects, like health regen or energy regen. And I think there are a couple other things in there. But generally speaking, you want some flat energy regen on your rings. And this provides that. I actually want to replace this one, believe it or not, with something that's a resistant prefix with a caster suffix. Or vice versa. Like maybe Harmonious of Albrecht's Focus, I think would be perfect for this guy. His other ring is a Sheltering of Shattered Reality, Diamond Signet. % energy regen, I would actually prefer it to be flat. But the Sheltering helps with more Chaos Res. The Cold Res on him is actually a little wasted because I think he had it maxed out regardless. And of Shattered Reality, that's a suffix I want on my weapon. Because if you get it on a weapon, it gives +3 to Fabric of Reality, which is a huge amount of DPS. So, the ring is okay. His chest piece was a drop, and this is another monster infrequent you're probably going to want to go for if you're doing a green Albrecht's Aether Ray character. Or just a green spellcaster in general. Demolitionist of Ascendant Vestment of Spellweaving. The Ascendant Vestment has elemental damage and energy regen and casting speed on a chest piece, which is pretty nice. The Demolitionist prefix gives us our +1 to Flame Touched, and the of Spellweaving is our Fire Vitality combo. Best in slot would be something that's like, I believe it's Warlocks. That gives +2 to Albrecht's Aether Ray of Aether suffix. Like Warlocks of Arcane Blaze would be the masturbatory chess piece I'd want to get. On an Ascendant Vestment would be so ridiculously awesome and broken that people would think I cheated it. So I almost don't want it for that. But yeah, that would be like the great the great chess piece. So chess piece, you want a caster chess piece, and I would recommend making a DPS item. Our pants are going to be a defensive slot. So Stonehind gives pierce and poison res, and I think bleeding resistance as well. And we have elemental res worked in there. And an of nature's bounty, as I mentioned before, it's health and health regen, and it's really great. And this has the elemental damage from being crafted by our blacksmith down here. So his gloves are Ancient of Destruction, and they are crafted. Oh yeah, and I will point out here that he's running 2-to-1 Physique Spirit, so he can actually run heavy armor very easily. So when you're crafting stuff, for this build in particular, except for the headpiece and the chest piece, do heavy armor for everything. You'll just get that much more armor out of it. So Ancient, it gives, I believe, the health, offensive ability, regen, constitution, and armor. And an of Destruction is the fire and lightning, with, I think, the retaliation. Wait, the retaliate might be on Ancient. Sometimes it's a little confusing to get the, to see what each of the prefixes and suffixes do on their own. But yeah. These are actually up for replacement, if I can get something that has casting speed. Because I don't think he has 200%. No, I'd want 200% casting speed. So he would need something that's gloves that have casting speed. And I think I'd rather switch these over to something more DPS-y. So boots, boots are interesting. Because green boots don't natively spawn with movement speed. So you kind of have to take what you can get with them. So Resonant of Readiness, it's a huge amount of offensive ability. Is the resident prefix, and then the of readiness is the other stuff pretty much. And I crafted these up, I believe, at the vendor in Homestead, because I was trying for chaos res and I got aether out of it. That's what that tiny bit of aether resistance is. But yeah, I treat the boot slot as a defensive slot. I will note that, oh yeah, Valdorn and the Storm Surge is listed as this thing here. It is kind of difficult to build offensive ability worked in with all of this. So on his gloves, I'd want more, and maybe on his chest piece, I'd want more. And maybe on some rings, I'd shoot for more offensive ability, because 2,000 is good, but I'd prefer to have 2,200-ish at this level. So my cheating here, I don't mean legitimate cheating, I mean I'm cheating the rule on greens. Agravax Malice, like, for relics, I think you're gonna just go with whatever. Technically, I should equip, like, what? Equilibrium, because that's the green level, relic, or Haunt. But I figured, I mean, if we're gonna be equipping a relic, let's just make it a good one. So yeah, Agravax Malice, and Tinker's Ingenuity is our belt. I wish I could find a good belt that had these stats in green. So my bullshitting here on why I'm equipping a Tinker's Ingenuity and a Badge of Mastery is because they're crafted. So that's my cheat. That's my cheat in the rules, is they're crafted. And actually, for a while, I ran the Empowered Essence of Baroneth for a similar reason, and the Calidor's Vestments for a similar reason. They were, quote-unquote, crafted. So it's like getting a fixed green almost out of these two and out of Badge of Mastery. So yeah, I kind of am bending the rules a bit here, but I can't think of anything else I'd want in these slots for the time being. Also, he actually needs Badge of Mastery right now. No, he needs Tinker's Ingenuity right now, because the physique requirement on the pants are a little heavy, no pun intended. And Badge of Mastery have +3 to Electrus, +2 to Albrex. Badge of Mastery is like an epic to me. It's a crafted epic more than a legendary. But yeah, we're running these two as our kind of breaking the rules. But I'll replace them later if I find something good enough. And we're going to go run the amalgamation. I don't think I need to do a huge, long skill demo for this guy. He performs exactly like an Albrex Aether Ray guy. He's just going to go a little slow. That's the thing about running greens. You're going to just run them, but the game is going to be more challenging, and it's going to move a little slower. So let's fight this group of enemies. We go boom, boom, throw those out, throw out our thermite mines, and we can burn everything down. It'll just take a little bit more. but he still performs his functions admirably. So yeah, we'll do this again. Freeze, Thermite, Devastation, throw up Canister Bomb. Yeah, he works. All greens works. It can actually get pretty ridiculous given what you can get for prefix-suffix combos. I just haven't gotten anything... I personally think I haven't gotten anything that ridiculous. Except for his Warden's Judgment is a little... It's a little out there. Believe me, I freaked out when that thing dropped. Yeah, hero. So yeah. Crow Fiend here. Dies pretty easy. So this guy, like, I really love the way he feels when I play him. Because it feels a lot like the old Aether Ray builds. So I got a little bit of nostalgia going on. With the Canister Bomb and Electra's Flash Freeze. And the, like, it is very much like, oh, this is playing like a classic Aether Ray guy. Just with, like, devotion worked into it. And yeah, you can kind of tell he runs slower than my other one, because there's no movement speed on his boots. It's one of the main reasons I maxed out Vindictive Flame. In case anyone's wondering, the Aether Smash ability is that wave of Aether that happens. Where, it looks like the like, Flesh Hulk Aether Wave. And actually, the Amalgamation sends out, like, 5 of them. That's the Aether Smash ability. So, Thermite Mines. And now we can just start burning them down. And we run away when he does that. Thermite Mines, Canister Bomb. Get that mark on him. Deal damage. Apparently we're going to shoot the Aether Ray up into the sky. Let's kill some of these guys with the actual ray and get some skeletons out. So yeah, you may have noticed this guy's actually still alive. Because, yeah, we're running all greens. That means we are a little weaker. But it actually kind of makes the game more fun, too. Because you actually get a challenge out of a lot of the enemies that you normally wouldn't get a challenge out of. Why does it keep giving me soldiers as a prefix? Oh my god, it's another soldiers of something. So that's the pulsing shard we got. I mean, it's not like soldiers is a bad prefix. You get a lot of health and physique out of it. Which is, you know, more health. I wouldn't mind getting something not soldiers, though. But yeah, that is Albrecht's Aether Ray, a Sorcerer, in all greens. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for more, Grim Dawn stuff. It's probably not going to be another Aether Ray guy. I mean, you never know, though.